What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar with C-Zar Gets Crypto, and we are talking about Bitcoin Cash today. Shout out to the Dragon Riders in the House of the Dragon. We are riding the Green Dragon, man. We've been riding it for the last 4 days, actually. There were Green Dragon sightings. I didn't even know it, man. I want to first and foremost say that I did not predict this move up. I was wrong. I definitely thought that we were going to go lower. I actually, on like this day or this day, I believe I made a video saying that we were likely going to take out these lows. We were going to go into the oversold zone on the daily RSI and potentially make our way down to about 135 to 150. I was wrong. We didn't do that. A lot of you are probably wondering, the people who've been watching this channel, first and foremost, I want to say I can be wrong. I've been wrong before, and I will be wrong again, okay? It's okay to be wrong. It's not okay to hold to that being wrong and just let it burn through all your money. Don't do that. You know, you have to be fluid. But I know a lot of you are wondering if I have foregone my 145 buy order. I have the biggest buy order for myself in crypto right now is right there at 145. Not at 145.1. It's right there at 145. And you're wondering if I've let that go or if the game plan has changed, and I want to tell you right now, dramatic pause. No, I have not. I have not moved that. The game plan has not changed for me. This is making me sweat a little bit, but it's just making me sweat. We've all, you know, if you're trading enough and you're not sweating, you're not doing it right, man. Or maybe you are doing it right. I don't know. But the reason why it's making me sweat, and probably a lot of you out there, you know, not just me, we have broken above this trend line that we were in, right? This downtrend that we had, that we've been in since July, since the beginning of July. We've broken out of it, or we haven't broken out of it. I want to be careful with my words because this looks like a breakout, right? To most people, it would look like a breakout. We're on the daily here. We have 19 hours and 18 minutes left. We are only up 4.38%. I say only, you know, compared to these boring days, it's pretty big, honestly, but 4.8% compared to like what we've seen Bitcoin Cash do, it's not much. We all know that it's up 4.3% right now, that Bitcoin Cash could, within the next 19 hours and 17 minutes, it could give that all back and actually be to the negative 4%. It could also, within the next 19 hours and 17 minutes, be up another 4% or another 10%. You know, a lot can happen. It might be exactly where it is. But what I'm trying to say is we do not have a confirmed break of this line just yet. Even if we close above this, in my opinion, that would be a break, but it's not a confirmed break until we get continuation past this close here, or we come back test this line and then bounce from there. If we do either of those things, then yes, it's a confirmed break. But we don't have that yet, and it's going to take a little bit more time than just today to do that. There's something else that's significant about today. Today, if we look at the candle, you see what day it is down here. It is Friday the 15th, September 2023, okay? Vito in the Discord, let's see here. Where are you at, Vito? You were talking about, no. Is this... Maybe I missed it. Let me see here. You brought up quad witching. Yeah, quad witching or quadruple witching refers to the day on which the following four types of financial instruments expire: stock index futures, options, stock options, single stock futures. It's called quad witching, and this happens every like middle of the end of the quarter, right? September, if you've got January, February, March, it happens in like the middle of March. March, April, May, June, right? January, February, March, April, May, June. Yeah, it would happen and like at the mid of June. July, August, September. Here we are, middle of September, and it's like a quarterly thing that happens, right? And it's quad witching because you have like four different types of futures, derivatives. I don't know, of like margin and like trading and stuff like that. That all come to an end. They expire around now. So big shit happens. Beyond that, and so the only reason I brought that up is because if you guys want to look more into quad witching, you can go ahead and look that up to see its relevance. Shout out to Vito for bringing that up, by the way. I also, if you guys follow Eric Crown's Crypto Cave, he's been talking about it for a while too. He's a very good technical analyst, but I want to get back to the main point here, guys. This day, beyond all that, it's Friday. It's the end of the week. It's a significant day. What was the last Friday that we had a significant day on? Well, this was a Thursday. This was a Tuesday. This back here was a Friday. It was a top. This big candle right here, the biggest candle we've seen in years. in years for Bitcoin Cash. The biggest candle was on a Friday. Here we are on Friday as well. It's the end of the week, not for crypto. Crypto's 24/7, so our end of the week is on Sunday. But for the stock week itself, which is why today's quad witching, right? It's the end of the week itself. This tends to be where we see like our more, what's the word I'm looking for? Our more, man, what is the word? Significant? Yeah, more significant moves. More significant moves happen. Again, you don't see these big candles. This happened on Wednesday. This happened on Thursday. This one happened on Tuesday. And then we had Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then the weekend came and we moved slowly sideways. When did this bottom come in? It came in on Monday, right? We didn't turn around on the weekend. We turned around at the beginning of the week. You get more significant moves during the work week, not during the weekend. But you can still see significant moves on the weekend, right? Like here, this was Saturday, and we moved up 16%. You know, you can still get significant moves on the weekend. But I digress, guys. I'm sorry. What I really want to say is that if you're bullish, the thing that you want to see would be a close above this day. Closing above this line is not enough. It's nice to see. It's enough to make me sweat. But at the end of the day, guys, all we have is a high here and a lower high. It is still just a lower high. And in a downtrend, the trend is your friend until the end of the trend, and we are still in the downtrend. Contrary to that, we have a low here, we have a higher low, and we have an even higher low. So you do have higher lows coming in with your lower highs, but we have a prevailing downtrend. So as of now, I still feel confident calling this a downtrend until proven otherwise. And what would prove that would first off be a wick above 228.4. Secondly, or even more importantly, a day to close. You can wick above that, cool, but get a day to close above 225.2. If you can get a day to close above 225.2 for Bitcoin Cash, it could be today. It would be nice if it was today because it's Friday. I doubt that you're going to get that on Saturday or Sunday, but if you can get a day, regardless of what day it is, to close above that, that to me would be an indication that we are done with this downtrend, and that we might be forming an uptrend. Could we do some stuff where we go up a little bit like this and then we go down? It's possible. It's possible. That'd be very cruel. That'd be very mean, Bitcoin Cash, but it is possible that something like that could happen. Hopefully there will be signs in the charts before, if something like that was to happen. But I want to focus. I want to take the focus away from this. I just wanted to say again here, actually, I'll get rid of this line real quick. I just wanted to say that just because we're above this line does not mean we've broken it. We haven't broken it. We've got 19 hours left in this day to confirm that it's not broken, actually. And if we were to turn around right now 4.62% to the downside in the next 19 hours, which Bitcoin Cash can definitely do that in that amount of time. If we were to turn around and come down below this line again, this would be what is known as a fake out, where you break the descending trend line to the upside. You have a fake out. Not only is it a fake out, but it's like a double top in itself, right? And that would just be very, very bullish, along with the fact that you're rejecting an area of previous support, confirming it as resistance further. Just very, very bearish things on top of even more bearish things. So that would be, again, if today on Friday being a very critical day in itself, if we were to close below this line. If we close here, that's fine. That's enough to make the bears sweat, the red dragon riders like me sweat a little bit. It's not enough to condemn us yet that this downtrend is over. What would be enough to condemn us, I think, would be a day that closes above 225.2. If we can get that, and that's where I'm going to take away this line again. If you can get that, the reason why that's bullish is because you're having a higher high and higher lows. You are potentially confirming an uptrend right there. And beyond that, you would also be deconfirming this hidden bearish divergence that you have on the daily RSI. Right now you have a high here and a higher high while having a high and a lower high. That is hidden bearish divergence. So you tend to see these things play out in a prevailing downtrend, which we still do have. At the moment, we still have that. So that's why I haven't moved my my buy order yet from 145. I am still confident that it goes there. A little less confident today, let's be real, a little bit less confident today, but I'm still pretty confident, and I'm not going to move it until I have a reason to. And right now I don't have a reason to. I have a reason to sweat a little bit, but I got water to rehydrate me. If we take a dive into this thing, we look at the 4 hour, you can see that we are pretty overbought right now. Very strong looking 4 hour RSI, I gotta say. You're in this kind of, let's see, That's not the line I wanted. You're in this kind of uptrend, right? Like here and here. You dipped out of it, whatever, but like you're in this kind of like ascending channel. Nice to see. I think if and when you break out of this, that might be the end of this up move that we're having. Maybe you don't. Maybe you continue to hold like this, and you have your little like strides, and maybe you come down even to the 50 or whatever. But as long as you're holding these areas of strength, price will continue to grow. But what has me a little bit hesitant, this RSI looks pretty good, not gonna lie. The RSI looks pretty good. What has me a little hesitant is the volume. You have a high here, you have another high here. It's a bigger candle, but with less volume. Decreasing volume as you're moving up is not a good thing. It's really not a good thing. And I'll show you what I mean. We'll go all the way back here, right? Here you are, peaked out in volume on this candle here. You made higher high here, right? You had higher closing highs. And what did you do with your volume? You actually died off in volume as you were going up, okay? And that's what's not encouraging at all to see. And then basically, we've just had a die off in volume ever since, with little bouts of like spikes going up. But basically, what I'm trying to get at the point of that example was that anytime that even here, right, you had a spike in volume, you went higher on a closing high here, and you had an immediate drop off in volume. And then what'd you do from there? You turned around. So, and then volume started to pick up as you were going down. So that to me is a little bit bearish. We do have 3 hours and 8 minutes left in this 4 hour. If it were to go up, if more volume were to come in, that can change. This is not confirmed yet, but that is something right now that adds to like the critical momentum that the bulls need to prove before the end of this day. You want to see, you really do. I mean, if you don't close above this descending white line, that's going to look very bad. But just because you do close above it does not mean that this thing's in the clear. It doesn't mean that this trend is over, right? This downtrend's over. The only thing that would really convince me that it is would be a close above here. And that could happen today. That could happen on Saturday, Sunday. It could happen sometime next week. We could close above here and then literally like, meander, bounce around, whatever, and then come up like 3 weeks from now, sometime in October, and then break that line. Something like that could happen. We could have this like overall higher low formation and get a kind of like an ascending triangle. You see it, right? Like here's the triangle here, up, flat right there, whatever. We could see something like that. That's possible too. Just because we don't close above this line in the coming days does not mean it's bearish. Just because we close above this line here, this descending line, does not mean it's bullish. We need more evidence in the charts before we really make a decision, right? And right now, because there's not more evidence in the charts, I'm sticking with the same decision that I've stuck with since here, which is that 145 is where I'm expecting it to go. And why do I expect it to go there? From low to high, from this low to high, using our fibs, you can see that the sweet spot, the 618, the golden ratio itself, is at 148, and the 6.9 is at 134.8. So about 150 to 135, somewhere in there. And it's very common. You can come down and bounce directly off your 618. I would be pissed, man, because that's $3 ahead of where I'm at. But Bitcoin Cash tends to actually go into its sweet spot, actually bouncing off the 6.9 and even below the 6.9 more often than not. So that's why I have it at 145, because 145 is like, it's a little bit over the halfway point. It's a little bit closer to the 618 itself, but I have it there. I'm prepared to move it if I think that things change, but right now I'm not in that boat. I'm not in that realm of existence. Looking at the 1 hour RSI, bullish as hell as well, man. Very, very bullish looking 1 hour RSI and 4 hour RSI. You do actually have increasing volume on the 1 hour. The detriment to that, of course, being that this increase in volume came on a candle where the wick was actually bigger than the body itself. So that's not necessarily encouraging, but it's not detrimental. You can have, look at this, very bearish candle, and then boom, you went up from there. 15-minute time frame, RSI looks strong, man. Looks very, very strong. So it's hard to say. I don't want to say too much one way or another. I just want to kind of condense my thoughts in saying that I'm not convinced yet that this downtrend is done. We still do have, after all, another lower high. It's barely lower, but it is another lower high. The one thing that we have going against us if you're bearish, one thing you have going for you if you're bullish, is that you have gotten above this line here, but you have not broken it yet. Hold your horses, pump the brakes. The day is not over. Let's wait till the day's over. 19 hours, we will reassess this, see what's going on, and we'll go from there. But at the moment, things are a bit exciting. You know, one way or another, I don't care if you're bullish or bearish on this thing, man. It's a lot better than just this sideways nothingness. At least we have some kind of something that's going to guide us, right? And it might not seem like it's guiding us now, but let's wait for the day to close. If we close above this line, okay, it's guiding us to the upside. If we close below this line here, it's going to guide us to the downside. If we close here, we're going to need more guidance. We're going to have to be patient and wait, but that's okay. You know, I think closing here would start to look more bullish, but we got a lot of time, so let's just wait and see. Be patient. I would not buy here personally. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I wouldn't buy here. What I would do if I was hungry to buy is I would wait. I'd wait for this thing to pump up, and then when it comes down, that's when I would buy it. Maybe it comes down to here. Maybe it only comes down to here. Maybe it goes way up and then it comes down. That's my recommendation, because if we reject from here, if we were to reject from here and just go to new lows, it would not be, you would not feel smart to buy here. If you buy here and it happens to go up, okay, you're lucky, but you're going to feel smart whenever it does go up, for sure. But if it rejects from here, you're not going to feel so smart anymore. And the fact of the matter is, you know, from top to bottom here, we're still at this like 382 area. We're at an area where we found support before. We could be confirming it as resistance. This is a double top kind of look. Crypto likes to mess with people, so just, you know, be aware of that, you guys. You know, it's definitely, we do have hidden bearish divergence on the daily RSI itself, and again, the most bullish thing that could happen would be to have a day to close above this, because that would negate that hidden bearish divergence. And in fact, you'd probably be in your overbought zone, which would be a very bullish sign in itself. You'd probably see some more immediate upside continuation, but again, I don't know if it's a good time to buy. I personally wouldn't buy here. I'm not buying here. And what would convince me to buy at higher prices more confidently would be getting a day to close above this. At that point, I would definitely rethink my strategy, but until then, strategy remains the same. Sitting here sweating a little bit, but patience is key, you guys. Patience is key. And if you're making money at the end of the day, you can't be upset. So that's the name of the game. If you're making money, you're doing it right. Even if you're wrong, as long as you're making money, you're doing it right. You can be right 9 out of 10 times and still lose money. You can be wrong 9 out of 10 times and still make money. Okay, it's not about being right or wrong. It's about preserving your capital and letting it grow. Okay, and how you do that is not by making emotional trades, not by getting in when it pumps, but before it pumps. Okay, and I didn't get in before it pumps. I was wrong. Whatever. It's okay. It happens. But that's all I got for you guys. If you like the video, leave a thumbs up, subscribe to see more, and I will keep you updated on this thing. If you're in the Discord, I'll keep you updated. You know, you guys can ask questions all you want. I'll respond. I'm C-Zar 8 here. I was actually the last person to respond, but I will leave a link in the description for anybody that wants it. So yeah, take care. Bye bye. Adios.